Well, hello folks, welcome to the first episode of our 16th season here at Riga FC. I'm the Custard Prophet. This is the Latvian job, and this is FM22, but we are at the business end of the Champions League. If you remember that Latvia have a kind of split season, so they go from December to December essentially. So we've finished the last season and we're starting the new one, but the first order of business is to play Benfica in the Champions League knockout phases. This is as far as we've ever got. We've tried to get through to the latter stages of the Champions League, but every time we've managed to do it, we get knocked out at this last 16 stage. But we have beaten Benfica over 2 legs before, so there is a chance. Let's go and find out this episode whether we can get past them, and if we do, who we play. Right folks, yes, so this might be a bit of a long one because also we've done some transfer business, we've had to, and there's also been some transfers that haven't happened which are really going to help us. That'll make sense in a second. So, 2 players have left the club. Mario Perez, you knew about, he's gone to Roma for just 1.2 million. The one I didn't really want to happen was Hisham Kiat leaving. I thought we were developing him quite nicely. Our central midfielder looks an absolute quality player. He's now valued at about £78 million. It's highly unfair, but we sold him for 5.75 million. And that's what, he wanted to leave, so we had to do that. On the other hand, have come 3 players. And all of them, I think, are going to help us. Zelmanis, probably not in the way you might think. He's just basically here to help us in the league. So we've got a good Latvian player in the league who has played for the Latvian national side. He's one of our previous ones. The other 3, though, I think will all be very, very helpful. Levante Nereclu, he's come from Cluj in Romania, and he's another very good Romanian player. We're going to be playing him up top. Looks fast, agile. He's going to be able to run with the ball. I think he's going to give us a little bit of something we were missing, I think, for the past couple of seasons after losing a variety of players who were able to play in this sort of way. So pleased to get him in. Huge amount of experience coming in now. Emmanuel Cavara from Barcelona, of all things, a Croatian international, 26 caps for Croatia, 10 goals for them. Decent 3-star, solid player. Not as fast as you might want, but he's got the finishing and dribbling and stuff. So again, he is going to be a very, very effective presence up top to add to what we have. And the last play here is Igor Jose, who is a Brazilian youngster. He can play, and this is why we brought him in that ball-winning midfield role. He's very effective in the tackle. Passing is all right, so I think he is going to develop nicely in that role. He's now worth almost £25 million. Signed him in for 11 million. So £24 million spent. We recouped 7 million. Not bad. But you'll notice there hasn't been a complete exodus of players, and that is despite a lot of players, a lot of people being interested in our team. And the player that has received the most interest and bids from all sorts of players, all sorts of people, including Bayern Munich, was Karadzic. He had a bid accepted by the board, met his release clause from Bayern Munich, and he turned them down. So pretty happy with that. You can see Arsenal and Atletico are hovering around, but this player has turned into something quite spectacular. And if we can go into this Champions League campaign in the latter stages with him in the team, we're going to do a lot better than if he's not here. Likewise, we also still have Yao Chiadio, who is, where is he? He's gone. Another very, very... So the 2 of those together, I think, are top draw midfield. And okay, we've lost Kiat, but we have brought in that Brazilian lad who I hope is going to make a difference for us. So let's go and play the first leg against the Benfica team. It's away from home. I think when we played them before, we'll just have a look at this, over 2 legs in the Europa League, we beat them, what was that, 4-2 on aggregate. We lost 2-1 away at their place, but with a better team. So I'm hoping maybe we can pull a draw out. Right, let's go forward. I'll put the team together and then we'll play leg number 1. So a lot of options that we could have gone with this team. Obviously our tactic continues with 3 up top. But we're going to start with this set of players. Crittenden sits is going as the target man rather than Lisanov's. Not sure whether that's the right move or not. With Kvara going to debut alongside them. Backline or midfield is Kiardio and Kradzic alongside Igor Jose, and Radsadjevic is playing on the left side. Bijekic is injured. The centre back on the right side, and Lima and Mendia in the middle with Kleber Francisco in goal. I think it's a very, very good side. Maybe the only issue we have really is the target man, whether who to play there, because actually I looked at it and the majority of players we've got here actually can't do that role. It is only going to be the 2 Latvians we've got who can play there. So and we're probably 1 player short in midfield and 1 player too many in defence. So that's the problems we have, but they're a lot less than we have previous. But I think the squad is very strong. Jose is going to get number 23. Let's get into this. I'm hopeful of this game. We've played well in pre-season, won all of our pre-season games against no one against anyone really good, but we haven't really changed this team around that much. But you know, it's a good side we're coming up against. But I think, and don't forget, Wampat is in this side, ex-Latvian, ex-Riga player. Let's go. Well, Tepote makes a challenge. I don't know why the referee's calling him over and why we're seeing a highlight. It can only mean a red card, surely. No, it doesn't. So maybe something to come from the corner. Silva Lima, he's always a threat from free kicks. Gets his head to it. Started okay, not really giving them much chance. Here's Kvara. First time we've seen him, and sits. Can't quite get there. But Suarez takes it away. They're going to get us on the break, maybe. Lima. Tepote. I was hoping for more than I was going to get. Nice bit of defensive work from Mendia there. Pedrosa, Lima, Suarez. A lot of time there. And Vieira, he has a shot and he scores. That is a stonker of a strike. Early on, really the first chance we've seen from Benfica. First time they got forward, they score. And maybe a little bit too much time from Suarez, but actually it wasn't that was the problem. It was Vieira given probably too much space that caused us the problem. So 1-0 down. Corner. Kradzic with the corner. And again, it's Vieira running clear. Lovely challenge there. I'm slightly concerned. Crittenden chipped in and not quite finding the player. Here's Vieira. And Barros. It's 2-0. Miguel Barros. What are we doing? What a terrible start here. 2 highlights, 2 goals from Benfica. We seem to have a massive hole in the centre of our defence. Well, we've seen nothing really from Benfica, but they've scored the goals when they've had. We've got a much better XG than them. This is exactly what happened last time. We need a goal though, really badly. Now Silva has the ball at the back here. What are we going to see? They're going to be forced to play it long. They have. And we've picked it up nicely. Kiardio, Kradzic. I thought there was opportunity to put the forward in there. But here's the centre-back, Kradzic. Looking to find some space. They have. It's Kiardio. Oh my God. What an easy chance. And he completely fluffs it. Couple of changes up top. We've not been that effective. We're taking off Sits and Kvara. On comes Lisanovs and Nediku, sort of something along those lines. Well, the Brazilian ball-winning midfielder's gone off. Lorenzo's come on because he's a bit tired. And we've got a late chance maybe. Need to make the most of this. Here's Crittenden inside. Oh, it's lovely, but is that going to be allowed? Kradzic picks it up, and they're running back to the centre circle. 90 minutes on the clock. It is allowed, so that is exactly the same score as we had last time. Crittenden does well, pick the ball out, and yeah, that was well timed. The run from Karadzic shows how important he is to us, and maybe, just maybe, there's a late chance here for Lorenzo. Not sure if we're going to have time for this. Here's Lisinov's. Lorenzo, ball over the top. It's the Romanian. Oh, he slots it in. It does all right there, but nobody on the end of it. Here's Crittenden. Ball in. Oh, come on. Is that allowed? Oh, God, referee's having a look at this. He might well be offside there, unfortunately. Lorenzo. It's allowed, you know. Chips the ball in. Lisinov's just... Oh, it's brilliant. Lisinov's just... I think he was going for the shot. He didn't quite connect with it and it just fell in front of... I think that's a fair result. Didn't see it come in, but what... I mean, come on. It was somewhat deserved, but a 2-2 draw in the end. Completely dominated the game. Front three in the end played well, and maybe we found our front three for the return game. Let me know what you thought of that one. Let's move forward and we will play the second leg. Right then, folks, we are back for our second leg match against Benfica. It's going to be tough, as you can see. Real Madrid are playing Arsenal in the other games today, and this will conclude the last 16 of the Champions League, and the winners will all be playing in the quarterfinals. Some interesting teams have gone through and some interesting teams already out. As you can see here, Liverpool getting knocked out by Milan, maybe a bit of a surprise there. Paris Saint-Germain are out, so we're not too worried about that. Bayern Munich are out against Atletico Madrid, the team we've beaten on a few occasions, and Porto knocking out Manchester United. So I'm not too disappointed with the teams going through there, and there's certainly teams there that I think we would have a chance against. Big question is whether we can get through this match, and things are going to be a bit more tricky because we've had a couple of injuries to contend with. So we have just played the first game of the season against Ventspils. We beat them 6-0. Lots of goals from Kvara and Crittenden with a hat-trick, which was a very, very pleasant start. But this is the team that we're going with to play against Benfica. You will notice there is a bit of a surprise choice in goal, but let's work from top to bottom. Crittenden, Lisinovs and Nedelku, who are our strikers, they play quite well, the three of them, in the end of the game, so that's why we're putting them in. Chiadio, Lorenzo, Karadzic, very good midfielder. We're playing Lorenzo in there with his vast experience, and the back line is pretty much, it's exactly the same back line we had in the first leg, with Rasefovic in goal. The reason we've got the players we've got out there is that Bajekic has got a cold, so he's missing this one again, and Kleber Francesco is injured with it's flu, so he's going to be out for a couple of days. So we'll see how we do with this. Both Lima and the centre-back, and neither of them are particularly happy. I said I would sell Lima at the end of this last transfer window, which I didn't do. I didn't want to get rid of him. He's annoyed at me for that. And the centre-back is just generally unhappy because, well, I think it's more game time, the usual stuff. So we are going to try and give him a bunch more games. The other news is that Stankus has left the club. He's gone to Spartaks. So our long-serving Latvian defender, I thought, we sold him for about £2 million, which shows how much money there's in this league now. But I was really... I thought he's 30 years old. Give him to Spartaks, and hopefully that will push them on a little bit. And I think, looking at the business they were doing, I think they might do a lot better in this year's European competitions, but we will see. Right, let's get in there. Let's play Benfica. Can we get through this? This will be huge. Never done this before. Never got further than this stage before. So if we can, it would be awesome. Can we protect our goalkeeper is the big question. We're in the snow, the Riga snow. We played very well in the last game, but conceded some early chances. And look at that, Lisinov starting the game with 1-0 up. He just towers over the Benfica defence. That was lovely. The thing I don't like about snow in this FM22. I can't remember what it's like in FM23. I'm not sure I've seen it too much. It's really hard to see the ball, isn't it? So the ball comes in. Yeah, it's a lovely header past the goalkeeper, and that's what we wanted to see. Great start. Another opportunity here down the right side. This is early where things seem to be coming from, but Tipote, who has caused us some trouble in the past, but the centre-back did well there, just winning the ball and putting it in. It's gone all the way to the left side. Here's Chiadio. The left-back's going to try and get that ball put in, not quite. Karadzic, it's a bit of a wild tackle, goes in, but the centre-back now on the right side, and it's Crittenden, ball straight on his foot. Is that going to be allowed? They say it might have been offside. I'm not sure about that. I thought he was onside. Goal is awarded, 2-0. So this is what we wanted to see, a really strong start. We won 3-0 last season against them to beat them. But where was the marking for Crittenden? He scored 3 in the last game. He's already on the mark here. Can he get any more though? Nicely done. He's really linking in well here, and with a left back, Radzajeljevic. It's going to take me some time to get used to that name. And the corner in from Nedlescu, and it's Chiadio now. I thought he was going to have a shot from there. He had a lot of room, but there's no one back there. We're looking really good again. It's nice to see. Here's Chiadio. Doesn't quite know what to do there. Back to Lorenzo. Right move, I think. Centre back. Oh, it's an own goal, isn't it? Off Silva. If you're wondering why I'm calling him the centre back, I've basically called him that since the very start because I can't say his name. Stoj Saveljevic. It's a tough one to say, but I think the Radzajeljevic is probably a harder one. 3-0 though. Very, very positive start to this. Corner now. Nilescu. It's in. It's 4-0. Lysinov's absolutely on fire with his head today. Oh, this is what we like to see. We look like we're heading into the last 8 of the Champions League. You get to that sort of stage, you just never know what's going to happen, do you? Just don't want to draw some of the really big boys, because I don't think we've got quite enough to get through them. Great first half, really happy with that. Doesn't really matter what happens in the second half. We're pretty much certainly through this, and we can start thinking about who we might get in the quarterfinals. Here's Nedlescu, and Lysinov's almost a hat-trick of headers. We'll think about some changes. Another one. He's doing great things with these corners. I don't know what his free kick taking attribute is. Just a second. Nedlescu. Corners 12, free kicks 11. So he's not amazing, is he? He's got really good technique, and maybe that's the difference. So a couple of changes. Cavara coming on for Crittenden, and Pedraza coming on for Mendia. So a couple of players just getting a bit of time on the pitch at this historic moment. Chance here for Benfica. They have done 0 in this game. Really, I guess the freezing cold conditions don't help that much. Lovely free kick though from Pedro Luis, and well, we have conceded a goal. And I'm going to bring off on Verbergs, who is a young Latvian, who I think we could develop into someone reasonably good on the left side. And there we go. We win that 4-1, 6-3 on aggregate. Glorious performance, and that is what we like to see. There was absolutely at no point in that second leg where Riga in there. Arsenal go through, maybe a bit of a surprise there, beating Real Madrid in their own stadium. Wow. So right then, folks, we're going to go forward and we're going to see who we draw. We've got £8.2 million for getting the win there. And we'll move forward. And here we go. It does happen before the game against Spartaks, an away game against Spartaks, which I think is going to be quite an interesting one. We will get the quarterfinals and semi-finals drawn today. So let's have a look. Teams left in this. We've got Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Arsenal, Porto, Manchester City, and little old Riga making up the four. So let's see who is first out of the hat. It's Milan. We'd take that one definitely. We don't get it. It's an Milan Inter derby. Wow. The San Siro is going to be rocking. Barcelona, they're going to play Real Madrid. Atletico. No. It's Manchester City. That's a fascinating one. I mean, yeah, Real Madrid are out. I forgot about that. So happy with that. I didn't want either of those teams. Who would I take? Either Atletico or Porto I would take. Atletico are playing Porto, so we are playing Arsenal. I think this is going to be too hard. I imagine if we had one of those two, we could have got through to the semi-finals. Right, so if we get through that one, which is going to be a real challenge, Atletico or Porto are playing. So we do play Atletico or Porto. I think we could win that against either of those teams. I think the struggle is going to be against Arsenal. And then it's going to be, I don't know, likely to come through there. Probably the winner of that one is probably more likely to get all the way to the final. But I can't believe we're actually in this at the quarterfinal stage. It is fantastic. The Arsenal game is a few games further ahead. So we've got to worry about the likes of Spartaks and Latvia away first of all. But then we'll be playing Arsenal in about a month, or a little bit less than a month, which is pretty scary. Let's see how Arsenal have been doing. As you can see here, they did lose away against Porto, but look at these performances, and drew at home against Porto. Maybe everything is not too bad here. Look at the results they're getting here. Maybe they're not. So let's look at the Premier League. No, well, Arsenal came third in the Premier League last season, so they're not the tops here. I mean, look at this. £200 million goalkeeper. Wow. Things have moved on. Looks like he's the best. Oh no, I was going to say Ricardo Calamita. Wow. Look at that guy. I mean, is he worth 374 million? Probably not, but yeah, scary stuff. Anyway, folks, well, that is another thing to worry about in the future. It's not going to be too far away, but I hope you're going to enjoy it. If you have enjoyed this episode, though, please hit that like button. I know this is FM22, but I'm very passionate about this save. I want to win the Champions League with Riga. That's what I want to do. I want to win a European competition with Riga. Maybe this time is the time. I think it's not ridiculous to say we could get past Arsenal. I don't think that's ridiculous. And I think the winner, Porto or Atletico. We've beaten Atletico over two legs before. Porto, I'd guess, are at the same level as them. I think we could do that. It's whether we could do on a one-off game against the likes of Barcelona. That might be one step too far, but I don't know. Anyway, folks, yes, let me know in the comments your thoughts. If you enjoyed this, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you shortly. Goodbye.